Alright YouTube, we're back, of course, talking some Final Fantasy IX. This time we're not really talking about the 9 remake, though that might be a part of the conversation. We're talking about the Memoria Project. This is the fan-made sort of remake of Final Fantasy IX. It is simply a proof of concept. It's not meant to be playable ever to the public or anything. Now, why we were talking about the Memoria Project is because their website has been down for the last couple of days now. If you go over to their site, it looks like this right now. Website expired. This account is expired. If you are the site owner, click below to log in. So people are kind of freaking out about this in different ways, both positive and negative. The positive would be people thinking that they're attached to the remake, project or whatever for FF9. Whether the Memoria Project this entire time was the 9 remake doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if that was the case, then why is the website down now? Or that Square Enix picked them up, right? They've seen the Memoria Project, they like what they're doing with it, they want them to continue doing that and make a full-on 9 remake, something along those lines. Maybe now they had them take down the website, something like that, kind of. I said before in a previous video, I don't think that, at least the entire time, that the Memoria Project has been the 9 remake, right? Because they've been super publicly talking about it. I think it's technically possible that Square Enix could have seen what they were doing, liked it, and wanted them to, make the 9 remake. We've seen this before with other studios that see fan-made mods and things like that, and make that an official thing, or pick those people up, bring them in studio to work with them and shit. So it's happened before with maybe with Bethesda, I'm thinking, or something like that, with Fallout or Elder Scrolls or some shit. The point is, it's not an impossible thing. I don't know that Square Enix has ever done something like that, or they would ever do something like that, but it is technically possible. The negative would be people think that potentially Square Enix has hit them with the cease and desist, which is definitely possible. Square Enix has done this in the past with Chrono Resurrection, which was a fan-made remake of Chrono Trigger that was meant to be publicly released. So it kind of makes sense that Square Enix hit them with a cease and desist back in 2004. Don't get me wrong, I'll always be on the side of the community, of the fans, over Square Enix, the businesses, whatever, all that shit, right? But there's copyright laws. That's why a lot of people, say not to really draw attention to yourself when you're doing stuff like this, or at least wait till you're done making it to really start publicly talking about it. Or finish doing your remake and then shadow drop it online or whatever the fuck. And they can still hit you with a cease and desist at that point, but it's already online. So what can they do about it? They can make you take it down, but it's already on the internet. It's already forever. Because I believe Chrono Resurrection has never been playable. And we see this all the time with companies like Rockstar shutting down Red Dead Redemption remakes, and I think GTA 4 remakes and shit. I'm not sure how often Square Enix has done this, but I'm just aware of the Chrono Trigger remake thing. Back on topic though, whether or not they would send a cease and desist to the Memoria Project people, it's possible, only because we know there's supposed to be a 9 remake, and assuming that the 9 remake is a different thing than the Memoria Project, I could see them shutting that down. Especially because a lot of people believe that the Memoria Project probably looks better than the 9 remake when you look to something like, the Tactics Remaster coming up, where it doesn't visually look that much better. We could see them maybe kind of half-assing a 9 remake, potentially. And if the Memoria Project, this fan-made thing, with just however many people are making that, is better than your official 9 remake, I could see them, one, take that down. The only kind of issues with it are that, for one, it was never going to be a publicly released thing. That might not matter if they want to hit a cease and desist or copyright infringement type shit or whatever, right? But at least it was never going to be publicly released. The other kind of problem with the possibility of it being a cease and desist is that only their website's down. Their Twitter's still up and their YouTube is still up, which wouldn't make a lot of sense. If they were hit with a cease and desist, I think everything would be gone, right? If Square Enix didn't want them to continue doing what they're doing, there'd be nothing left. They'd just be wiped from social media and shit. But the fact that they still have a YouTube and a Twitter currently leads me to believe that they're still able to keep doing what they're doing. It's a little bit weird they haven't addressed it, because the site's been down for at least 3 days. There's a Reddit post going back 3 days that I came across. It's been a handful of days, and as far as I'm aware, they haven't publicly addressed why there's no website anymore. It's kind of strange. I personally think that maybe they just don't want to have a website anymore, didn't want to keep paying for it, because it obviously costs money. It costs money to host a website. They're on Squarespace. There's monthly or annual kind of subscription thing, right? And that can be upwards of $100 depending on what you're doing. And why do they have it? What's the point of a website dedicated to the Memoria Project that costs money to host all the time, right? What money are they getting back on that? Because as far as I'm aware, they shouldn't be or aren't getting any money. Normally you'd make a website or a Squarespace or whatever the fuck to promote your business that you're making money off of, right? Showing merchandise or whatever else your business is about. And you're making a return on that investment sort of thing, right? So what are they paying for? It doesn't make any sense. Plus, at these days, their social media and their YouTube channel are pretty big. They got 20,000 something on YouTube, 30,000 followers on Twitter. They don't need a website anymore. In fact, until people told me about this today, that their website was down, I didn't even know they had a fucking website. Because why would I give a shit? Well, I would never visit it. I would just wait for them to upload another trailer or whatever. I guess it's also technically possible that they forgot to pay it, but that'd be kind of weird. The main point from all this, though, is I don't think it's a cease and desist, which is what a lot of people are talking about. Because if that was the case, if they got hit with that at this point, like 3 days ago, why would their socials still be up, right? Like, that should be gone, too. So it is, at least, it almost seems like factually could not be a cease and desist. Which, again, is why I think maybe they just gave up on the website. How much traction was going to that anyways, like daily, monthly, whatever, like, especially if, I don't know how often they put out updates, because at least on, like, their YouTube, there's only 3 videos, and the newest one's, like, 2 years old or whatever, right? And then they don't tweet out that often on Twitter, so, like, how much were they even posted on to the website anyways? I don't know. No idea. In fact, hopping on their Twitter really quickly, before the most recent tweets where they were kind of tweeting around the anniversary for FF9, their most recent tweet was more than a year ago, dude, around the launch of Rebirth. So it seemed like they're not super active on socials unless they were like always maybe posting shit to their website. Then it'd be kind of weird that the site's gone now, right? Like maybe they don't use Twitter that much or YouTube or whatever. But maybe they're always doing shit on Squarespace, on their website or whatever. And then it's just like gone and they haven't publicly addressed it or gave us a reason why. That could be pretty strange, but I don't know. As far as I'm aware, that's everything worth talking about currently. Like if there is some sort of update to this, we could do a follow-up video at some point if there's something worth talking about from that, right? Like if they give us an update in the future, like maybe they did get hit with the cease and desist or whatever. I don't know why this shit would still be up, but maybe that could have happened. If Square Enix did hit him with that, that's definitely something worth discussing, right? I actually want to come back and add something to the video that I was thinking about as I was finishing up the video. They are kind of making money off of the Memoria Project, right? At least with like their YouTube. I'm not sure about Squarespace. With Squarespace, you can monetize it in different ways and all, whatever. But you can like have ads on there, right? I don't know if they were doing that. You guys can let me know. I've never seen the website, never visited the website. But with their YouTube channel, it is monetized. There are ads, right? So they are technically making money off the Memoria Project. So I could see Square Enix hitting them with a cease and desist. It wouldn't make sense why their YouTube is still up. But I do want to kind of throw that out there. Like right here's a screenshot I just took. I clicked on like the gameplay video they have and ad played before it, right? They're making some kind of money in one way or another off of this 9 remake, right? And Square Enix might have their own 9 remake in the works, so I could potentially see them hitting them with some cease and desist type shit, right? Especially because they're making money off of one of their IPs, right? Like that is, it's got to be breaking some kind of copyright thing, I would think, right? But I will add again that it doesn't make a lot of sense why the YouTube would still be up and the Twitter would be up if they're getting hit with the cease and desist. That's probably not what's happening, but it kind of clicked as I was finishing up the video that they maybe are making money off of Squarespace if there was ads on there or something potentially, but also their YouTube channel itself. Just want to kind of add that here really quickly at the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts on that. Of course, pass off to you guys. What are your thoughts? Why do you think the website's down? Is it as simple as they just didn't see a need for it anymore, or is it something major like a cease and desist? Something maybe like a little more exciting, like them being the ones making the 9 remake, or is the Memoria Project converted now into a 9 remake officially? What do you think? Either way, that's the video. Subscribe to if you guys are new, social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, @SaberYT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more, and nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Rogaine, or leave it like Cobain.